Welcome back to the ScreenwritersJourney.com. I'm William Gilmore, and this blog is covering days 111 through day 124, I believe it is, otherwise known as the Christmas break. And by break, I mean we took a break. There really was nothing going on, which was not my intent. If you checked out the last blog from day 110, you'll know that I spent 15 hours in airports and taxis and airplanes and buses and gosh knows what else, trying to get from the West Coast to the East Coast to spend the holidays with my family. And I took a bunch of stuff with me on my laptop with all the intentions in the world of getting something accomplished. And I got a little bit done, but not a whole lot. I did make good use of that long 15-hour red-eye plane flight layover in Denver nonsense that happened on day 110. I got in on day 111 at around 5:30 in the morning, so by the time I got home, 7, pretty much slept all that day. When I got up, I did my video blog for that day. I didn't actually write the text portion of the blog until Christmas Day, so I actually did some writing on Christmas Day. And on the 111, I also spent trying to figure out what to do with that ongoing dilemma leading into the midpoint of the Raydell-Kalita scene, where the neighbor comes over and accuses Raydell of doing something to her husband, and the Tyler scene where he buys a new truck. I've been wanting to eliminate those scenes, but if I do, it gives me a huge problem with the scene coming out of the midpoint, which is Raydell having his confrontation with Hiram. If I eliminate those earlier scenes, that scene's got to be rewritten entirely, probably a completely different setup, and I just have not been able to come up with anything. I thought about that on day 111 and day 12. I spent a lot of time, either traveling in cars or wherever we were going, trying to work that out and figure out what to do, or laying in bed at night, and just have not come up with a good alternative for that scene. That scene works so well and really sets up a lot of stuff for the rest of the screenplay. So I'm thinking the Raydell and Kalita scenes the Raydell-Kalita and the Tyler scene will have to stay in some form, hopefully condensed. It's really the only way I can think that it's going to work. I did eliminate, it's official, Reggie's gone, she's out of the script. She was a love interest for Shep. And of course that means a new ending, because the ending revolved all around her, but it seemed kind of forced. I was trying to cram this love interest into the script, and it gave me an excuse for the ending. It just all seemed a little arbitrary and wasn't very organic. So trying to come up with a new ending. I believe on day 112 I sort of decided on that. I haven't actually put it into action yet. I just didn't have time to actually put it down on paper, but what I came up with was actually a lot simpler, and I think it's going to work a lot better. So now that I'm back in California, that'll be my next thing to do, is sit down and start looking at all that stuff again. So I got a little bit done on day 111, day 112, and day 116, which was Christmas Day. And then after that, basically nothing, which is odd that I actually got something written on Christmas Day with all the stuff going on. I was brining the turkey and all that stuff and getting ready for family to come over for dinner, and still managed to find some time to do some writing. Pleased about that. The day after Christmas, I had to run over to Orlando to see some folks. And then on the 27th, I was basically done and collapsed in bed. I was exhausted between the travel and assembling gifts and going shopping and trying to squeeze in the writing and seeing friends and just doing everything. I was worn out. And so I spent most of that day in bed and woke up on the 28th with a cold. So I spent the remainder of the trip either with a running nose or a stuffed up nose. And then I had to return on New Year's Eve, which was kind of a bummer to be flying on that night. And because of scheduling conflicts, I ended up getting stuck in Denver again. But I did make it to the hotel bar just before midnight. I had time to order a beer and do the countdown. And as soon as we said Happy New Year, the bartender went, "Everybody go home now. Bar's closed." So that was it was probably just as well, because I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight out of Denver back to California. So that was an even longer return trip than it was going. Whatever. is what you deal with. Uh, and then another day of sleeping once I got back. And now I'm trying to get everything going again. So I've spent a little bit of time trying to update the website and get things going on next. It's behind again. I had gotten it caught up, and now it's behind. It just takes so much time to keep all these things going, and you got so many different things going on. It's really tough. And I think that's probably the one thing that I've learned so far in this journey. It's been 3 months now. September, October, November, December, September, October, November. Yeah, 4 months. So that's a third of the way through the journey. Wow, a third of the way. The first 2 months, September and October, I thought were going really fast. That's because I was busy every day. I was blogging. I was writing. I got a lot going on. I was very pleased with what was happening. There was a lot of stuff going on with the website. It was great, but I had a lot of free time. And then November hit, and I was trying to do NaNoWriMo, and I suddenly had 2 jobs I was working, so that took up a lot of time. Thanksgiving holidays came up. Everything just started to fall apart. And I knew if I didn't get all this stuff accomplished by the time I left for Christmas break, I was going to have a bad end of the year. And as much as I tried, it did not end the way I wanted it to. I am severely behind schedule. Like I said, that's the thing that I've really learned in the first third of this journey. Time. There's just never enough of it. And it's not like I was lazy and letting things slide while I was on Christmas break. I mean, I literally got up every day and made a list of what I needed to accomplish today so I could get to the writing. Because, I live on the West Coast, my family's on the East Coast, so I wanted to spend time with them. This was my chance to see them, so I wasn't going to give that up, because I get back there for a while. So I needed to spend time with them and see them and catch up and all that stuff, and I wouldn't give that up for the world. But still, there's this nagging sense in the back of your head that you're not getting your writing done, you're not getting your stuff accomplished. And it's not something that I think I was aware of prior to starting this journey, because I wasn't detailing it all. You'd get a little bit of writing in here, you get a little bit of writing in there, and it felt like you were making progress. But when I look back on it, I really wasn't doing a whole lot at all. And that's just the thing that just really striking me, is you've got to find that time, because it's a time-intensive effort, and there's just not a lot of it when you got a lot of stuff going on in your life. And I'll say, luckily, I don't have a family of my own, at least not at the moment. So I don't have to worry about going to see the kids, at football games or soccer games or play rehearsals or whatever you've got going on with the kids. Taking them to birthday parties, plus dealing with your spouse and trying to work on a marriage and things like that. So I don't have those things going on that I need to take care of that another writer may have, which is going to be just even that much tougher for him or her. And I have a lot of empathy, sympathy for that person who has all that and is still trying to make a go of the writing. It's tough, and I think that's what I've learned most in this first third of the journey, is that the time really, really bites. It's hard to find that time, and that's just what we've got to do. And I'm hoping now that the holidays are behind, the job thing has kind of settled down, that I'll be able to get back into that rhythm and start getting things going again. Otherwise, this may take forever, and I just don't have forever. So we've only got 2/3 of the journey left to get something accomplished, and that's kind of scary, because the halfway point is coming up. Halfway point. 2 more months. And these last 2 months, when I wasn't getting stuff done, flew by faster than the 2 months that I was getting stuff done. So, and maybe it's because of the panic that I felt like I wasn't getting anything done. I don't know. It's just been sort of an eye-opening thing about the time and how much time is critical to getting things done and trying to find it. So I guess that's where I'll leave you with for the New Year's, is trying to find that time, carve it out. You got to make it happen. Somehow, I've got to make it happen. So that's where we are at the start of 2016, finding time to get our projects done. That's the number one thing right now. So let's check back tomorrow and find out if I found any time. All right. That's all I have for right now. Please keep up the writing. I know it's difficult, but it's what you have to do because you're a writer, right? I'll see you tomorrow.